Okay guys, so let's start off by talking about the closure that I'm using today. Today I'm going to use the ONYC SASSY REMY closure, and this one is in a light relaxed, and this is similar to this is actually the same type of closure that I used in my first video, but this is actually a different closure. The one that I used in my first video is more like a 2, and this is more of a 1B, so that is what this one looks like. And this is in a 12-inch. I've already used this closure before. As you can see, the lace has already been cut for my head, so yeah, I've already used it. I just took it out and washed my hair, and so I'm just going to put it back in. And I want to show you guys, because I get a lot of questions on how do I place my closure and what do I use to put my closure. So as you can see, I've already sewn the fabric underneath the closure, and I use clear thread to sew that in. And again, a lot of questions I get about this is the fabric that I use. I went straight to Walmart and just did color matching on my skin with the fabric, and this was the one that came out to be the closest. But literally, this is seriously just fabric from Walmart. Nothing spectacular. I believe it's some kind of cotton blend silk fabric. Okay, so that's what I've placed under here, and I've already bleached my knots. So this is what it looks like if I were to part it down the middle. This is what it would look like. So it looks and it resembles scalp. Okay, so there is no scalp like. I've had people ask me, is that scalp like fabric underneath? No, it is straight fabric, and then this is the clear thread that I use to sew the fabric on. It's not really neat, but as you can see, it's just clear, and I didn't put it on neat or anything like that, and that's what it looks like underneath without the fabric. You can see where I did bleach the knots already. So that's what it looks like. Now, one good thing about this closure is I already had pre-made holes for you to sew in yourself, the closure around your scalp. So it already has pre-made holes. Now, as I told you before, I've already done my hair. I just took the closure out to wash it and you know, just get it ready. So, and this time I decided to do a side part because I wanted a little bit more on the side. So I already know where it is and where it's placed, and so I'm just going to place it back right there. So some of the things that you're going to need for this, of course, number one is thread and needle. You're also going to need, and it is good to have some lace it, unlace, 2-in-1 cube, what's that say? Citrus oil tape and adhesive remover. This stuff is really, really good. Now, you may not be able to get this same brand, but you can get something similar. Basically, you just want something to be able to remove the tape, or if you decide to use tape, or if you decide to use glue, you want something that will remove it. And this stuff is really, really good. Literally, I just spray it along my scalp, wait a couple seconds, and I can just take this comb and just do like this, and the glue is removed. So the second thing you're going to need is some Scalp Protectant, and this is to protect your scalp because of course you're laying down glue, and you do not want the glue to stick to your head. You don't want it to adhere, and then trying to take that glue out without that other stuff is hell. I've been there and I've tried it. So you want Scalp Protectant to protect your scalp, your hairline. You don't want any hair loss, and also it's just really good because it's good to help it adhere even better with hot and humid weather, if you have oily skin, if you swim a lot or play sports. And I've been working out a lot, so this stuff is really, really good. So you want to get some Scalp Protectant. And of course you want to get some lace glue, and I got some of this glue. I do not recommend this glue because it does dry flaky white, but I've already bought it, so I'm just going to use it. But so you do need some lace front glue, or you can use tape. Now, I have been using the tape, but I find the tape is hard and tricky to work with, so I stopped using the tape, and it's just a lot easier to work with the adhesive glue. And I got this one for $5.99. All these things I've gotten at the beauty salon. So let's get started. What I want to do is give a shout out to Miss Bossy Live. I learned a lot of my techniques when it comes to placing closures and stuff like that from her, and watching her video and studying her video. So I just want to say thank you for that. If you guys are not subscribed to Miss Bossy Live, please go over and subscribe to her. She is really, really great, very, very informative, and she knows a lot about hair. So the first thing you want to do is place your Scalp Protectant down, and basically I'm just going to put a little bit down right here where the glue is going to stick, and I can put it, oh, I'm sorry, actually the first thing that I did before I even put this down is you want to clean the scalp area with a little alcohol, because you want the area to be clean, nice, dry, and ready to apply the Scalp Protectant. So I forgot to tell you that step first, so definitely do that first. But then secondly, once you get that done, and which I've already done, is you want to take a little Scalp Protectant and you just want to go ahead and put it all over your scalp, right there where the glue is going to be stuck. And don't be afraid to put it on your hair, even just in case some of your hair gets pulled down or some of the glue gets on your hair. So you just want to go ahead and put that all over your scalp and all over your hairline, right where the glue is going to be. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to allow that to dry. Alright guys, so I've gotten one layer down. It has completely dried, so I'm going to go back in and I'm going to put a second layer of Scalp Protectant, because you can never have enough. And you know, as black women, our sides, we need our sides, and our sides are the first to go. So we want to go ahead and put in another layer there of Scalp Protectant across the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on in. Alright guys, so it's pretty much dry, so here we come to the next step. Now the next step is going to be the most trickiest step, because you want to place your closure properly, and misplacing the closure can cause it to look unnatural. You want it could look wiggy, can look like it's sitting on top of your head. I've seen so many different kinds of closures and placements, and just no. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and tie the hair down into a knot. That way it'll get all the hair out of the way. I'm gonna tie that down in a knot. And then what you want to do is placing the hair is going to be a little different. Now some people leave a little hair out there to place it behind the hairline. I'm not. I just simply place mine where I feel like it will look the most natural. And so to me, if I lay it right here, as you can see here, that to me will produce the most natural look for my closure. So that's right above the hairline, right in front of the hairline, and it's kind of like right in the middle, right where the hairline starts and stops, because you want the most natural look possible. So I'm going to place it about right there. Now that I have it where I want it, I am just going to take a clip and I am going to clip it down in the back to hold it steady. That way it won't move. And then I'm just going to take another clip here, and I'm just going to clip it down on this side. And then, because the most important part is not the back, it's going to always be the front, and you want it to look as natural in the front as ever. So I'm thinking about right here should be good. If you can see here, right here should be good. And then this will allow me to have a great side part. I might have to cut the fabric a little bit right here. That little string that's hanging. I'll cut those couple of strings. But we're going to place it right here. So I've already got my needle and thread going that I'm just going to sew down. And like I told you before, it has the holes in the closure, which is really, really great. So if you can see the hole right there. So I'm just going to actually put it right here. I'm going to start here, And just to let you guys know before anyone asks, this hair is still the same ONYC hair that I've been using. And this is my third install. And it is going great, as you guys can see. I mean, I did color the hair to match the closure that I have now, but I'll get into that in a later video. So I'm just gonna pull that right through the hole, and I'm just going to sew that right on in. Okay, and then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to put it through the hole here and pull that down, and now I have got anchored my piece down. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around. I'm basically gonna go all the way around the whole closure and sew it down. If you've seen, you know, sew videos, you know how that goes. So I don't really have to film that part. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so I have the closure in and it is down. And as you can see here, this is basically my part. That's where I will be parting it. So it is down. Now if I really just wanted to leave it like this, I can, because without gluing the front down, because you know, the hair is pretty much full, and I could just flat iron it to go like this, and where it'll hide the fronts and you really can't see the fronts or whatever. So I could, you know, I could leave it like this. But if I want a more natural looking front and I don't want to hide the front, this is basically what I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin all the hair from the closure back. I'm going to put it all back here. And as you can see, as you know, as I take it back, this is basically where the closure is lifting. So I've already placed my Scalp Protectant, as you remember. So now I'm going to go in and place my Lace It glue. Now, according to the directions on the back of this thing, this is exactly, I'm going to follow this according to the directions. Now this one is white. That's another reason why I don't recommend this one, because it is white and so it dries to clear, but it does give a little flakiness to it. So I'm suggesting getting maybe, I've heard of Ghost Bond, or just any one of them that is something of a more clear substance. Alright, so luckily in the one that I have, it has a little brush applicator on there, so you really don't have to do much. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the glue. I don't want much, because again, this is right towards the front of my hairline, and you know, the more you use, the wider it seems to become. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue, and we're basically just going to draw it across the front of this hairline here. So I'm just going to do it right here where the hair will stick, or where the closure will stick. See, you got a little bit here. I'm just going to draw a small line right where the closure is going to stick on my hair. Okay, so we're just going to sit there and we're just going to allow that one to dry down to a clear, just a little clear. And again, you want to put as least as possible, you know, whatever it takes to allow it to stick. So I'm just going to let that dry, and then we'll come back to the next step. So we're going to go ahead and put another layer on top right now. Same line here. So I'm just going to do it here. I don't want to put too much, because the more you put, the more gunk. Here, we're just going to allow it to dry just a little bit until it becomes tacky, and then we're going to stick it down, or actually smooth it down. And for this step, you're going to need a rat tail comb with or not necessarily a rat tail comb, but more of a small tooth comb with small teeth. So we're just going to allow that to dry just a bit before we push it down or press it down. Okay guys, so our bonder is pretty much about to dry here. So now we're just going to take the closure and we're going to place it. I'm going to grab it from tip to tip here. We're going to drag it up a little bit And we're just going to place it down in the spot where I want it to lay. And I'm just going to press it down with my fingers. And it's really tacky right now. And then I'm going to take my comb here and I'm just going to press the edges down. Okay, this part right here. As you can see, this is why I don't like this glue, because it gives it a white filmy look that does eventually dry out, but I just don't like this glue, and I probably won't be using this. I will never buy this glue ever again. So I'm just gonna pick up the hair and just place it, the lace down. Okay, as you can see there, that's just a piece of the fabric that came from underneath, but that will get covered. Pretty much we're going to allow that to dry completely, and then you'll see how it looks when it's done. Stay tuned, guys. Okay guys, so it's pretty much dried the edges, but as you can see, it kind of have a little white, you can see the flakiness of the white glue and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little pad like this. I'm going to take a little alcohol and I'm going to spray a little of the lockout spray on the pad. I'm just going to dab it off just to clean up the white spots in the where it's showing. Because you don't, you want it to look as natural as possible. So I'm just gonna take it and clean up and remove any excess glue that was there. You don't want to get too much of it. Okay guys, so this is it. This is the final look for my what are we calling this video? The closure video. So here it is. It is finally dried and it is finally in, and here is my side part. As you can see there, it looks very, very natural, and because my hair is not sitting on my head or like laying flat, you can't really see the front, so that's really good too if you don't want to lay it flat. But let me show you what the fronts look like. That's it there. Probably need to clean up that a little bit, but that's my fronts. Let me part it in another area so you can see how it's pretty much just laying flat. And if I leave it like this, I mean it's good to go. I don't really have to worry about anything. It has a natural look on it. From here, this is basically what everyone sees, and that's it, guys. Take a look there, and as you can see, the parting is impeccable. I mean, it goes all the way from here to here on my head, so that is a lot of parting room. Let me just part it a little bit lower down. You can see there. Let me part it here. So that's what it looks like on my scalp. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now tell me if you have any questions, if there's anything here that you didn't understand, if I didn't explain anything well. Again, this is the ONYC Sassy closure in a light perm, and it is in 1B, and the rest of my hair is a full 10-inch. It's just 10 inches all the way down, so this is where it matches, this is where it reaches. So it looks very, very natural. It looks like this hair could be mine. It could be, it's not too long, drawn out, or anything like that. So guys, again, feel free to ask me any questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.